Hello Collective, and welcome to your new moon Friday, June 27th, 2025 reading. I posted a new moon in Cancer reading for, I believe it was Tuesday's reading. But we're going to touch today on the energies of the new moon as it is today. And I'm kind of trying to figure out where I want to take it. But I think what we're going to do, I'm going to pull, I'll go ahead and pull 3 cards here for, well, let me start with saying we're going to do a pick a pile, okay? So I'm going to deal 3 piles, and I'll deal 3 cards per pile. The first card will be to indicate your inner alchemy, okay? What needs to be transformed. The second card will be, your soul blueprint activation. So what do you need to know to align with your highest purpose? And the third card we will pull will be for an energetic recalibration. So essentially, what do you need to release? What kind of stagnation needs to be let go for flow? Everyone is doing well and is excited. I feel like I hope a lot of us in the collective are get some good time off, or just some extra additional time off, with 4th of July coming around the corner. So I'm taking a few days off myself. Well, they were given to me, so very grateful for that. And this weekend I did a little bit of digging into it today, but I was looking into a new overhead lamp so that we can get some additional lighting in here. Additionally, I will be looking for some more tarot decks to add to the collection. I'm hoping at least definitely 1 or 2 more, definitely I want 2 or 3 core decks that I can switch between. So very happy to have the Cat Tarot deck, and very importantly that it is safe for network. So, there's been a lot just, I've heard, but there's a tarot reader very personal to me, and she's been dealing with this issue as of late. With imagery of the cards and rather just really some odd things. It's I feel like it's going even above and beyond that, but whatever the case is, we're gonna do our best to be on our best behavior here on this channel. Of course, for personals, that's a different story. We can get a little bit more raunchy there, but no, I'm just kidding. All right, everyone, I think the deck is ready to go. As I said that, I saw the Magician peeking out there, and the Magician card was higher than all of the others. So there's something you're reaching for, there's something you're aiming for, okay, collective? So let's get started. So I'm going to go ahead and shuffle again. Well, actually, this is how I wanted to do it, and I'm going to show you guys. This is just going to be the last card. Very cute. I mean, I feel like, with the new moon energy and the new moon energy, I feel like I'm talking to quite a few of you here that are kind of upside down in love. Why do I say that? Well, without showing you. Let's see how I cannot. Okay, because I just don't want to show the other cards. I don't think you guys can see this far back. So right off the bat, I have here the Empress and the 3 of Swords. And you can just see the imagery of all the hearts, right? They are coming in the reverse. But I wonder, I wonder if the collective is simply... there's just a lot here emotionally, but I do feel like it has to do with, some type of past relationship or connection, or someone that you're talking to now. Also, we have the moon here in the reverse, okay? So, so with that being said, I'm gonna let, again, this is just one of the cards, all right? So no right or wrong answers here, but take a deep breath with me in and out if you would like. Trust your heart space and choose the card that most resonates with you. And we'll see what messages want to come your way. Of course, all the messages could resonate with you, but you know, but this is a fun little way to implement both of our energies here. All right, my friends, so hopefully you've made a choice, but let's get into it then. We're going to start with pile 1, or I should just say the Empress reversed pile. So for those of you that that chose the Empress, okay, and I want to make sure I have all the cards in order here. Okay, so we have the Knight of Pentacles, and then 2 major arcana, the Hierophant and the Empress. So I'm going to let you take a quick look here at the imagery with me. So the first card is your inner alchemy. So what challenges can you transform into wisdom? Now we have the Knight of Pentacles here. The Knight of Pentacles is my well, no. I should say I'm getting a lot of grounded energy here, but there's almost something to what was I going to say earlier? Maybe something about, I don't know, negotiations here, because you can see how the cat is sitting across the table here from you know, the person that he's living with, his human. But the Knight speaks to, you know, I said grounded energy. It speaks to the energies of practicality, of responsibility, but of also working hard. So there is something here again about, I mean, take it as it resonates, guys. Maybe the need to implement some more responsibility, however that looks to you, or being more practical about a situation moving forward. Again, that can resonate differently to everyone, but this could really be speaking to the area of, you know, finance or even career. But you're, you know, it's just like you're almost, you know, with the cat's expression, you're almost thinking about an offer, or you're thinking about, you know, a situation, and it's almost like how, you know, working hard. How are you going to get from this side of the table to where this guy's sitting, you know, because he kind of has some, we'll say some decently nice shoes and, you know, a nice bowl of delicious food, right? So in terms of your inner, you know, your inner alchemy and what needs to be transformed, there is something about, again, getting from here to there. But it's not necessarily like a point A to point B, you know, that's that inner alchemization. So and there is something here, you know, with the Hierophant, even though it's coming in for another card, but I also take all the cards and the energy together, but there is something here in terms of, with the Hierophant, Major Arcana number 5, something to do with unity, maybe within yourself, like, because if the Hierophant was coming in an upright position, I would get that you're in a, in the energy of order and power, and basically, it really, this is my morals card, okay? So you may be having an internal battle. something to do, you know, morally, that's kind of keeping you feeling like you're not, you know, in this Empress energy, what should be, you know, creativity of creating you and, you know, birthing, or just tapping into your resources, you know, your abundance. And there's something here about nurturing. So it's almost like, I feel like I want to say, it's like there's something here about nurturing your connection to self. You know what I mean? Because I feel like you're thinking again in terms of, it's like Abraham says, well, you know, how do I get from, you know what I mean? Like, well, how do I get from here to there? And obviously, you know, we're not, you know, we don't have the ability for teleportation, at least not that I know of. So, you know what I mean? So, but, well, I don't really know where I was quite going with that. So, but anyway, guys, so yeah, so there is something here. Because, guys, I mean, you're the Empress. Like, the Empress energies here, again, creativity. You have resources that you can tap into. You have the abundance, but you have yet to necessarily tap into that. You're still sitting on the other side of the table, if that makes sense. Now, with the Hierophant in the reverse, it is coming in for the Soul Blueprint activation card. Essentially, how can you align with your highest purpose, right? And so there was something here, again, to do with, it could simply be, you know, representing conformity, you know, both good and bad. So take it as it resonates. But, you know, the card represents those who choose their own path. Understand that house cats aren't pack animals, and neither are you. So there's something to align with your highest purpose. It's like, don't follow the pack. Like, think, I don't know what it is, think outside the box. And this could be, you know, like, I'm taking this right now as like an interview table. Say you're the cat interviewing, and you've done the thing a couple times. Like, you know how the interview process works. But you're thinking to yourself, is this really the way? So there's something here, guys, for sure, okay, about if you can step outside of the pack and do what it is, because there is something that you want to do here. And I was talking about morals. Maybe you think people would judge you for it. It doesn't have to be anything crazy. It's just, it's judged in some way. And it's kind of, you know, you're kind of in a way, I would say, and it could be unbeknownst to you, but in some way it's like it's hindering your creative abilities, you know, you're just creative, your creative aura. You know, the Empress is the alpha female and rules over an empire of peace and plenty. But in reverse, the card suggests troubles and paradise. Now, this card is coming in for your energetic recalibration, or what you can, you know, how to, releasing stagnation for flow. All right. Maybe you're having bad luck in love. Maybe your squeaky toy bit back. Focus on yourself while you regroup. So that's a very, very simple message. Focus on yourself while you regroup. And I really do feel the need to regroup is necessarily needed here with just the imagery, but of the Hierophant and the Empress, because the Hierophant is very much like a very spiritual, you know, very more of like the subconscious, the hidden spirituality, if you will. Well, I want to say, like, you know, because I'm thinking of like even the Hermit, but I take it as like a Hermit card, like where it's very to yourself, like you have to do it alone. You kind of, or you know what I mean, in a way. Of course, you know, the Hierophant can certainly have those that look up to him as a mentor, or whatever the case. So I guess, you know, but I hope I kind of got my point across, which I don't remember what that was anymore. Noticing also kind of this almost similar-ish purple hues there. The Empress a little bit more gray. But definitely, guys, again, so just in order to just release whatever stagnant energies are occurring right now, just focus on yourself. Just focus on yourself. What does that mean? I mean, do what makes you laugh. Do what makes you feel relaxed and do what makes you feel like you can just take a break, kick back, put your legs up, because that can look differently to all of us. So very beautiful, everyone. And I'm noticing, oh yeah, no, that's okay. I didn't pull like an overall or bottom of the deck message, but that's okay. All right, so moving on to pile 2. For those of you that resonated and chose the 3 of Swords in the reverse. The 3 of Swords is my break, heartbreak card. As for most, that's the iconic symbolism. That's why it resonates that way to so many of us. It's a card of heartbreak, sorrow, however you want to take it. The fact that it's in the reverse is excellent. Okay, so at this time, it's like you're chewing. I want to say like you're chewing it's like you're chewing their hearts out and spitting them back out, or you've chewed their hearts up and spit them back out. Like that's kind of the energy that you're in now, or will like proceed to be. And I don't mean like you're gonna be literally going willy-nilly and breaking people's hearts, because you can, but it's like you're just like, it's like, I want to say like you're like a tough cookie right now. All right, so let's get into it. We have 1 major arcana here. Very interesting imagery as well, and I'm going to show you guys what I'm seeing. Okay. Oop. Okay. So 3 of Swords in the reverse, the Tower, and we have the 10 of Cups. So clearly an emotional connection did not go as planned here, I'm assuming, because of this Tower moment here. There was definitely something that happened here, and now you're kind of not scared, but you're a little, that expression is so adorable. You're just a little, I don't know why I cannot think of any words right now. You're just a little perplexed at like your past few relationships. Shall we even say your past 3 relationships? Because I can say my past 3, so if we're in the collective together, welcome. And tell me why, at least in my situation, all their names actually started with a C. But I digress. But whatever the situation was, poor things, it's like, it's kind of got you guys like, damn, you know what I mean? Like, I'm just going to stay over here on the other side of this wall of, bowls here. Because every time I step into someone's, living room, freaking lightning bolts are shooting all over the place, right? So, but let's dig into it. How did I have these? Okay, so we're going to start with the 10 of Cups. This is coming in as your inner alchemy. So, transforming challenges into wisdom. The 10 of Cups it's for me, a card of happiness and family. So, I think at this time you're looking for yours, or not even looking, but like, you're peaking. I don't feel like this is an energy of like desperation. It's just more so like you're so innocent, and you'd love to have share your 10 bowls with someone else, but as you can see, there's like a set of bowls over here that you're looking at, and these bowls here kind of seem different, maybe not as bright, almost as if like, these are maybe perhaps past connections that haven't worked out romantically, or just past emotional situations with whoever, soul made you, just ended in some type of emotional, upset, of course here, with the 3 of Swords. But at the end of the day, I do feel like you're just keeping, thank you. It's like the cat, it's just kind of, you're side-eyeing, you're kind of side-eyeing right now the emotional state of affairs going on. You're not necessarily concerned with it per se, but again, you're just like, you've been through some stuff. but you're still giving it a look, you know what I mean? You're not backing away. So again, so transforming challenges into wisdom. And I mean, I do already see that here, but again, these bowls can be seen as the challenges. And you're seeing either, there's two like groups here. Either you're currently alchemizing, okay, taking your past challenges and turning them into wisdom, or this is a call, okay, that is exactly what needs to be done here. So don't look at these bowls and think of all the we could call this low vibrational energy, right? And why do I say that? I kind of mean to say, like, you know, because what would, you know, really, if lightning was freaking striking you down, like, I'm pretty sure that most of us, you know, as spiritual as we are and have a good hold of our emotions, we're going to be, like, shit scared, you know what I mean? Like, maybe angry depending on what's going on, like, but you know what I mean? And so you're in those lower vibrations because you're freaking out, you're suddenly in survival mode, cats are flying all over the place, like, you know what I mean? It's hectic. It's night, you barely see anything, but as I say that, it's dark and you can barely see anything. So as you can see kind of a darker wallpaper or wall there, but it's like this darkness, you know, it's like you kind of put it behind you, you know, these tower moments and these, you know what I mean, these like just love letters, or you know what I mean, that just didn't come to pass. But and interestingly, I'm just now picking up here on this fork, and so I do feel like almost like this cat, rather, you know, I feel like even unbeknownst to it that there's actually another place set there, or that perhaps someone is going to come in here shortly and sit across that table from you, okay? So let's face it, 10 of Cups is a lot for one alone. The alignment of beautiful bowls can be a protective barrier above your head or something to keep an eye on. The prettiest bowls still hurt when they tumble. The sight of the rainbow means an end to hard times, especially where family is concerned. There's great happiness ahead. Think togetherness and not competition. And it's not a bad time to think about buying a new home either. Very interesting, so take that as it resonates. Just make sure it has lots of big windows that let in rays of sunshine. That's because it's so, like, it's dark in here. I was talking on that earlier. But so it's transforming that pain into power, okay? That's really that inner alchemization, is when you can look at these or think back on these past bowls or empty bowls or situation and just alchemize that as you move forward onto, you know, new energies, new circumstances. And one of these bowls is going to be right for you, right? And if you alchemize the energies, you know, if you can alchemize them quickly enough, if you can get to that understanding of where you need to be, that next bowl will be your bowl. It doesn't have to be that, oh, you may need to go through several more. So take that as it resonates, my friends. We're going to move on to then aligning with your highest purpose. And we have the Tower. So what I am personally picking up on is that this, you know, basically the universe had to step in. I mean, essentially, and cause a tower moment. Because a tower moment we don't foresee, right? Because no one can foresee when lightning is going to hit them. It's so instantaneously. I don't know the exact, you know, record or, you know, let me see. How long? For lightning to strike. Literally going all over the place. A lightning strike itself happens in an extremely short amount of time, practically instantaneously. So like that. So essentially, guys, there's so Google doesn't even have an answer. So we'll just go ahead and say it. And I mean, like, okay, yeah, I'm literally not seeing an answer. So that's pretty telling that no one can predict when lightning is going to strike. And so the universe had to step in, and I don't know what happened. This is going to resonate differently to everyone. Again, I definitely feel this has to do with some type of emotional letdown, guys. Most likely in a romantic connection, but this could even be between family, siblings, parents, someone you really cared about. But something, kind of like shit hit the fan. The tower represents sudden and unexpected change, chaos, and upheaval. Everything has been thrown into question at this point. But the tower is the foundation you have built carefully over time. Okay, aka yourself, who you actually are. And so, my apologies, I lost. Okay, I have to have my bullet points here. I get my mind's in all type of directions. So the lightning strike seen through the window tells us that this unexpected change, I just said it, comes from a source far greater than ourselves. You feel you have no power or control. Two cats dive from the tower, clearly startled and unsure of what is happening. But falling down, you are humbled. Imagine if you took a leap. So the universe is coming through strong, okay, in this pile. That you're absolutely well on the way to finding your true self right now and aligning with your highest purpose. Now that whatever this situation, this tower moment, struck down, whether that was in love, career, finance, you're going to have again someone sitting across that table from you. Now we do have the Three of Swords coming in as releasing stagnation for flow. And you guys are already definitely in great energies here, okay? As I said earlier, this speaks to heartbreak, but you guys have already alchemized this intersection of your heart via intelligence. It's like you know better than to let this heartbreak get you down, or literally, like, you're not going to go dig a hole and die in it, okay? You're going to persevere, you're going to move forward. Again, you're going to chew that heart and spit it back out. Upside down, this card pretends forgiveness, healing, and even a little bit of optimism. That fluffy heart-shaped toy is surprisingly resilient. The pain isn't absent, it hasn't been avoided, but feelings have been shared and reconciliation is on the horizon. So again, there's something there about releasing stagnation for flow. So I really picked up on that reconciliation, maybe with a parent I'm picking up on, or something with a family member, possibly even friends, close friends. Because it's true that for most, the pain never really subsides, or so if you can be the first one to somehow reconcile, then you're going to be well on your way to getting that house with all the bright windows, essentially. Yeah, because you can see right now that it's not very bright here in these cards. Okay, but not to fear, guys. It's almost like this had to happen for you to align with your highest purpose, to get you to start transforming the energies. But you have, you're very powerful here. And so again, now when I was saying about reconciliation, of course, only if it so resonates to do so. If, this was a situation with, some crap, ex-narcissist, there's no necessarily reconciliation needed. For that, I would just say forgiveness. And again, forgiveness for just not forgiveness necessarily for the person, but yes, forgive them because they weren't doing anything to you personally. It was really just literally, guys. It's like it's all. You know what I mean? Well, it's all within. I'll keep it simple. So, forgive. If you can forgive the situation and yourself, most importantly, like don't beat yourself up for what happened or for what, it's done. That's we don't need to think about it anymore. We're literally, we're organisms, okay? Like, we're organic. We're constantly changing every, literally, second. Every thought that we think, every, feeling that we feel, we're a new person or we're a different person. So I wish you luck. Okay, so pile 3, we have the moon in the reverse, major arcana, and actually, wow, you have 3 major arcana here, and I'm going to show them to you: the world, the moon, and the high priestess. So, literally, guys, and today is the new moon in Cancer, okay, but just crazy powerful energy going on, like very mystical, spiritual energy here, like very very, like, I'm excited, like, ooh, like what's going on here. The first card that we have, let me not confuse how I had, okay. Now, the first card is coming in terms of transforming challenges into wisdom. The high priestess is in the reverse, so very simply we can speak to the fact that there's some type of imbalance in your intuition, or there's some spiritual learning that needs to be done here, perhaps. Okay. This could even speak to releasing secrets, if that resonates with you, like releasing some kind of secret in order to transform some type of challenge into wisdom. But guys, if you're being met with a lot of challenges right now and you just kind of feel like things aren't necessarily working out in your favor, or this card is a reminder that plans don't bear fruit unless you do the work to carry them out. So wishing is a good act, wishing is good, but action is better. So there's something about taking action here. But it's also like taking action, like lean into your intuition a little bit more. I don't know if you've been ignoring it, if you've never tapped into it before. But I feel like you probably feel like you're experiencing, and it may sound weird, like very mysterious energies, and you can't quite put your finger on it, but you're so focused with maybe manifesting or just wishing, but wishing does nothing, guys. That's not how manifestation works. So just remember, action is better. Now, you may have heard, hear people talk a lot about taking aligned action, and I kind of see that here in the world. Even I kind of just see this cat almost like Tarzan right now, like literally just like swinging into a new timeline, if you will. The world speaks to major arcana number 21, success and completion. So this card is coming in for aligning with your highest purpose. But I feel like you need to begin to take, again, either tap into that spirituality, practice, incorporate meditation to your daily routine, maybe some breath work, even just some you time, however that, time to just relax and revel in the energies that make you feel good. So if it's not that, if it's not like you need to kind of like, and sometimes, it's not to say that you're not spiritual, but sometimes we can get too caught up in the hustle and bustle that we forget to check in with our inner self. And I mean, typically it's of second nature almost, but even still, like I say that, I still find myself being like, oh, I haven't, talked to my angels as much as I have, or hired them to help me out throughout, with some specific things that I've been working on in the background. And as I say that, I'm like, why? So you just get caught up in doing all these things. So I feel like it's just a call to reconnect, okay, with that spirituality, or with your inner intuition, or take action in some ways. For those of you, I'm just throwing it out there, like wishing to, be a celebrity. I'm not going to say that doesn't work, but if you don't know exactly what you're doing, at least taking action is aligned action, okay? You don't, there's a difference between desperate energy and aligned energy. And I'm telling you these things not to harp on y'all, but so that you can be like, hey, if you don't understand what I'm saying, you kind of like start maybe looking that up on the side, or Google, YouTube, whatever it is. Because I love everyone here, and I'll eventually I'll start making some more videos tailored more to spirituality, how to tap into your, how to tap into consciousness, how to reach heaven on earth, that kind of thing. So either of the two things there. The world, again, major arcana number 21, is coming in for aligning with your highest purpose. Like I said, however, you're going to have to touch on that high priestess there in the reverse, okay, before you can kind of swing into action. But you have got the world on a string. The final card of the major arcana, the world, represents completion. In the four corners, we have the four elements, 3 delicious food groups, and the fire used to cook them. And I might be covering one. No. This card finds you well fed, satisfied, and purring, so let the wide world spin. So that's really your message. Let the world spin. Let the world do its thing. The world is in your hands, or in this case, you have, the world on a string. So there's something here about tapping in. At the very beginning, as I was pre-shuffling, I did see the magician pop out. So there is something here about taking a look at, how the 4 elements resonate with you. And there is something here about, fire, cooking. So maybe there's a call here for some of you to, if you've been really feeling like you want to get to cooking your own food and eating healthy or something to that effect, or even just going out and building a little fire if you can, obviously in the backyard. And also just having fun, guys, doing things that bring you joy. The moon is coming in the reverse for releasing stagnation for flow. Releasing stagnation for flow, and this is coming in as major arcana number 18. The moon waxes and wanes, as do fear, confusion, and unhappiness. So again, releasing stagnation for flow. If no moon shines tonight, which it is the new moon, okay, so to my knowledge, the new moon is, I don't know if you can see it at all, or if it's just very dim, but I mean, guys, very fitting for today. If no moon shines tonight, remember that it will again soon, and the sun will rise in just a few hours. So, I mean, if that's any consolation, guys, whatever, if you have fear about something, confusion, unhappiness, let it go with this new moon tonight in Cancer, okay? And really, that the new moon really is about, I believe, like release, but new emotional heights. Okay, reaching new emotional heights. And you guys are going to reach that, because I definitely see it here in the symbolism again with the world. So I really had a great time with that reading. I will see everyone in the next one. Be well.